What's going on, man? I wanted to tell you guys, at least I think it's a funny story. This story is about when I was 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, the first time I ever had sex, I was 12. I know that's grotesque, and people think that's horrible, and so on and so forth, but you know what? That was a long time ago, so it's over and done. And I will say, I had sex when I was 12, and the next time I had sex after that, it's like 16. So that was torture. I had sex that whole summer. That was torture, between 12 and 16, because it was like, I wasn't getting any. A lot of masturbation. Anyway, the girl who first time I ever had sex with, she was like, I think 2 years older than me. Maybe 3, I don't know. She was a ugly motherfucker. She's like probably the ugliest girl I ever seen in my life. But in my neighborhood, wasn't nobody giving it up, at this time. And she was the only one. And she liked me, so I did it. But anyway, I had one of my closest friends from my childhood. I'm not saying anyone's names. He wanted some too. So we had this grand idea to convince her to do a threesome. We didn't even know what a threesome was at the time. We just said, she gonna do it with both of us at the same time. And her parents was never, ever, ever at home. I mean, never at home. Okay. I think her dad was like a doctor, and her mom was something, I don't know, a nurse practitioner or something. She was something. They both were something in the medical field. They were never at home. Okay, so she was the oldest. She had a brother our age, and she had 2 little brothers, like one was 6 and one was 7. So it was 14, 12, 6, and 7. Okay. So we go over there. The kids, I think they were like in the basement playing the 6 and 7-year-old. The 12-year-old that was our age, he was a little off, so he always stayed to himself. And her. So me and my homeboy, we're trying to talk to her, convince her, So she's looking at me like, get rid of him. I'm like, well, we want, for all 3 of us to get together. And she's like, she's thinking about it, but she's like, nah, I don't want to do that yet. I like doing it with you. And I was like, come on now, come on, baby, come on, She's like, I'm not ready for all that yet. So, I break the bad news to my homeboy. He's pissed. So, tension started arising with these 2. Because he's mad and she's mad. And anyway, as they started getting into it with each other, not fighting yet. They did get into a fight eventually. That's another story, though. But arguing, we hear a car. She runs to the window. She's like, oh, shit, my parents are home. So we look at each other. We like, oh, shit. So we like, what the fuck we gonna do? She's like, okay, go in, I forgot the kid's name, which I won't say their names anyway. She's like, go in my little brother's rooms. They had 2 beds in there, one on each side of the wall. She's like, hide up under the beds. They don't never go in the rooms if the kids are not in there, because the kids are downstairs. We go in the room and hide. And when they come home, they never stay home. So, we wasn't expecting them to be at home long. So we hiding up under beds. And me and him are talking up, and she closed the door. So me and him are in there talking, like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, man, we can't stay up in here forever. And I was like, I agree. Like, I'm fucking thinking. So, they're in the house. Then, mind you, like, we're doing all this talking and trying to figure this stuff out. We're up on these beds for almost 2 hours. It's driving me fucking insane. I can be outside playing baseball or basketball or playing my video game system. I can be doing something else besides being up on this ugly ass girl bed. But it's my fault for trying to get some. So I told my homeboy, I said, look, I got an idea. You jump out the window and make a run for it. We get up, we look out the window. He's like, oh shit. We were like maybe 10 to 13 feet up in the air. And we jumping down on cement because they had one of those wraparound driveways. So he says, hell no, I'm not jumping that far. And I'm like, it's either we jump or we walk the fuck out the front door. One of the two. It's their parents, not my parents. I don't give a fuck. I really did care, because if they would have went to my mom's house, I wouldn't have never been able to come outside again. I'd probably still be in the house now. Well, to the day she passed, that would have been the day I probably been able to come outside. So we get back up under the beds and start strategizing or debating about jumping out this high ass window. Okay. Another 30 minutes or an hour, I don't know. We was in there a long ass time. Has passed. So the next thing that happens, we decide we're gonna jump. My homeboy says, okay, I'll go first. And I'll look out and tell you know what's going on. Now mind you, like I said, this shit was high. So my homeboy, he jumps out the window. And he lands awkwardly. And it's a long ass fall to be landing awkwardly. I don't know what he did, but he fucked his leg up real bad. And he's laying on the ground like, oh. And he looks to his right. He looks to the side and he says, no, Marlon, don't jump. And I said, man, fuck you. And I jumped. Now, I landed correctly, and let me tell you, that was so fucking high. You know, I hit the ground so hard, it felt like a fire went through my feet. That shit burned so bad. So, as I jumped out the window and I screamed, fuck you, I looked to my right, her father is standing right there. Now, I had never seen her father before, but, you know, I knew that he did some medical stuff because I was nosy. Like, whenever I be having sex with her in the parents' bedroom, I look at paperwork and all that stuff. So I knew somebody worked. I knew they worked in the medical field. I know you say you nosy and nasty bastard, but anyway, so he's standing there, and my homeboy leg is all fucked up. So I pick him up, and the dude says, "What are you doing here?" I looked at him square in the eye. So I'm here to see your daughter. And the reason why I looked at him square in the eye, I'm the type of person, I'm an opportunist. It was so funny. This man was a grown man. I'm 12 years old. I towered over him. I weighed more, and I was skinny. I weighed more than him. I towered over him, and I felt like I could have whooped his ass. That's just me. So I said, I'm here to see your daughter. And my homeboy, he's laughing and shit with a fucked up leg, and he's like wrapped around my shoulder. So he said, look, I know you guys probably come over here because I'm never at home. I don't care about you guys hanging out with my daughter. But you guys can't come inside of my house, and you guys in here having sex, and she winds up pregnant, then what? I said, oh, she ain't gonna wind up pregnant. Don't nobody want to get her pregnant. He said, excuse me? I said, nothing, sir. I'm just telling you the truth. He said, get your friend and get the hell out of here. So I had to, I had to pick my homeboy up for a little while and carry him because, you know, dude was angry. And, so, you know, I picked him up, carrying him off, and as you know, you can hear dude going in the house starting to fussing with the daughter and shit. And, you know, so that was a story about us trying to get some at the age of 12, jumping out of high-ass windows over some pussy. I tell you, boy, being 12 was not easy.